Well, there are too many retirees that had been banking on them, and now they're finding out their 401ks will not be enough to keep their household afloat. This is according to a new analysis that was compiled by the Federal Reserve, just released, and we wanted you to know because some financial planners say they're seeing many more people in their 70s having to consider part-time work. So what do? Is the 401k really the best option for your retirement savings? Joining me now, Dave Sampson, former Deputy Secretary of Commerce, President and CEO of the Property Casualty Insurers Association of America. Well, on this particular topic, Dave, I know you know a lot, and I do recommend that people take advantage of their 401k. It's a great option, especially if you're lucky enough to have your company match. To find out it's not enough, it's shocking. What's your reaction?
Well, Jamie, when I read the story this morning in the Wall Street Journal, I first of all looked at it from an existential perspective and asked the questions about my own 401k and as I get a little bit closer to retirement. So it's something that's of great interest to me. I would say there are several factors that are contributing to this. Certainly, some folks started saving too late and they started saving too little when they did. But clearly the dominant issue that's included in the report is the fact that over the last 2 years, the great financial crisis that we've been through has had a very dramatic impact on 401k savings plans. I can tell you what I don't think the answer is. I'm very confident that we're not going to go back to the days of defined benefit plans. Those have been phased out in the private sector over the course of the last decade to 15 years. And clearly that's what the debate is about in Wisconsin that we're seeing right now is the fact that government workers are still basically in a defined benefit plan when that cannot be sustained because states are going broke.
Let me simplify it for folks. Those pension plans the company pays for alone, it doesn't really necessarily include as much of a contribution from you as the 401k. Companies can't afford to do it. Should we be more aggressive in our 401ks? Maybe we're investing conservatively. Should we change our strategy?
Well, every American is doing more with less in the last couple of years, and I think that that's a reality that we're all facing. Certainly, I think people need to see their own financial advisors and talk about accelerating contributions to 401ks. But really, Jamie, I mean, this is where this public policy debate that we're having right now in Washington and Wisconsin really comes alive, because what we need to do is focus on a macroeconomic growth strategy that can sustain very strong economic growth. You know, we're seeing economic GDP growth at 2% a year right now. We need to be up at around 4% a year because ultimately it's strong growth in the overall economy that's going to drive increased value in 401ks. And so that means government is going to have to get its spending under control, going to have to get its debt under control, because the more money that the government takes, that's less money for the private sector to invest.
But to bottom line it this way, these are the numbers that the Federal Reserve came out with. You need 85% of your working income after you retire. And the fact is that the people that did put money away will find that they will come up short. Those between 60 and 62 with a 401k have less than 1/4 of what is needed to maintain their standard of living. This is frightening, and let's not be elitist about it. This is just the people who have a job, who have a 401k. What is your recommendation to everybody else?
Well, first of all, people need to get a handle on what their own situation is. I think too many people are ignoring the realities that are out there and quite honestly have not thought deeply about what they're going to need to retire. I mean, I think the 85% figure is going to come as a dramatic shock for most people that are out there. I think clearly going forward, we're going to need to look at working longer. I think people are making those decisions. They're going to have to refocus on the kind of lifestyle that they expected to have and right-size that. Maybe it means not having the kind of house where they did. I think too many people over the last number of years counted on the equity in their homes, that was something they were going to cash out on, and that was going to be the source of their retirement income. And we all know that that reality was a bubble and not something that's substantive. So I think it's going to be a combination of all of those factors.
It concerns me because it leaves seniors more susceptible to some scams and promises of reverse mortgages and stuff. It is a very good advice from you to pay attention to this as early as possible in our working career. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Jamie.